Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our webinar on Elevate Your Wellbeing at Work. Today, we have a privilege of introducing Nawazish Kapil, a founder of Body, Mind, Soul 9. She is an esteemed expert in workplace wellness and holistic fitness coach. Nawazish has dedicated her career to empowering individuals to thrive professionally while prioritizing their personal well being. Join us as she shares insights and practical strategies to help us cultivate a healthier and more fulfilling work experience. Please give a warm virtual welcome to Nawazish Kapil as she takes the stage.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon and namaste to all my wonderful participants attending today's Health and Wellness webinar. Thank you for inviting me as your host and speaker. I'm Nawazish Kapil, lawyer, writer, corporate trainer, and founder of Body, Mind, Soul 9, Holistic Fitness Wellness. Since the inception of Body, Mind, Soul 9, over 2 years back, I feel extremely fortunate to have been able to help numerous individuals transform their lives by adopting healthy lifestyle habits, embracing physical activity, empowering themselves to overcome obstacles, setting ambitious goals, and cultivating a positive mindset. I strongly encourage all my clients and today's seminar participants to imbibe a comprehensive approach to their personal and professional growth that engages the body, mind, and soul. And our topic for today is Thriving at Work, Unlocking Your Path to Health and Wellbeing. I'm excited to share with you tips and practical strategies related to exercise, nutrition, ergonomics, and stress management. And I'm going to start my presentation here. So, Ikta, can I share the screen?
Yes, Nawazish. And anyone from the attendees wants to come to the panelist link and raise their hand, wherein you can also practice some stretches with Nawazish itself.
All right, so like I mentioned earlier, we are going to discuss practical strategies related to exercise, nutrition, ergonomics, and stress management for better health, wellness, and productivity at your workplace. And I would like to welcome you to this presentation. The reason why we are talking about implementing these strategies so that you not only can enhance your productivity, you also reduce your risk of injury and improve your overall quality of life. I'm going to begin by talking about an important topic today, which is exercise, and why exercise is so important and what are the key elements that you need to cover when you talk about a good overall holistic fitness program. All right, so I'm just going to talk about exercise to begin with. As we all know and are aware of the acronym SMART goal setting, anyone can tell me what does the acronym SMART stand for in the corporate culture or corporate world? What do we talk about when we talk about SMART, S-M-A-R-T? What does it stand for? Please share in the chat box. Ekta, do we have any responses there?
Yeah, so we have responses. It's from SMART goals.
Yes. So I need you to tell me what does SMART stand for when you talk about SMART in your corporate culture. S stands for, M stands for, A stands for, RT. Specific, yes, measurable, Rupa, that's right. Mayura, specific, measurable, absolutely achievable, accountable, attainable. Very nice, Manish. Yes, Dilip. Thank you so much. Yes. All the responses. Farhan, SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Perfect. Okay, I got it all. There you go. Yes, Kenneth. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. Okay, so when we are talking about SMART goal setting, it does not just simply apply to your corporate culture. What if I told you that these are, in addition to being beneficial in your workplace, and regardless of whether you're a beginner or a fitness enthusiast, you can apply SMART goals as a great effective tool when setting fitness goals too, right? So that sounds exciting. I'm going to talk about each element and component in detail here. So when we talk about specific fitness goals, I would like to firstly ask how many of you follow some sort of an exercise program or fitness program, whether it's strength training, stamina building, circuit training, cardio, whatever, or just playing a sport. Just give me a thumbs up if you're already active and implementing some sort of a fitness program in your daily routine. So give me a thumbs up in the chat box, please. All right, Kenneth, right there. Agnes, Abhinash, Naman, lots of thumbs up and sign strong. Farhan, Lip, Gaurav, Anjali. Okay, Anjali wants to work on it, so it's a thumbs down. Mayura, Shadab, and a lot of people out there. Okay, Tralachin, Virana. Yes, okay, great. So it's really heartening to know that so many of you are already exercising and taking care of your health. Now, whether you're like a beginner or at an advanced stage or have never worked out before, there's certain basic elements that you should ideally keep in mind when you are looking at how to go about with your fitness goals. So firstly, please be specific about what you're trying to achieve. Now, that's a very personalized goal. So you decide for yourself what is it that matters to you. And instead of a vague goal, like, okay, I just want to get in shape, try and get a more specific goal, something like I want to lose 10 kgs in 3 months, or I want to run a 5-kilometer race in under 25 minutes. Being specific will help you to stay focused and motivated throughout your fitness journey. And once again, just share with me, please, what is a specific fitness goal that you want to achieve within, let's say, the next 3 months? Anything that you specifically are. Good afternoon, Ganesh. Yes, anybody who is looking for something specifically in terms of health goals, what is it that you're looking at? If you had to start your fitness journey today, what would be your stamina? Mayura wants to build stamina. Virana wants to lose weight. Vivek wants to lose weight. Resistance. Venkata wants to engage in resistance training, I believe. Naman, fat loss, weight loss, stamina, flexibility. Run half marathon. Great, Kenneth. Gaurav wants 6 packs. Okay, don't we all? Okay, lots and lots of feedback. Amit wants to lose weight and regularize his eating habits. Very much possible. Trekking. Okay. Good health. So yes, pretty much, I think the same sort of goals that we are all looking at, building stamina. A lot of people believing that exercise somehow will also really contribute to weight loss. I'll touch that topic a little bit more. To begin with, please firstly have a clarity, a specific goal in mind as to what is it that you're in for and what kind of amount you're willing to put to get that goal going. Secondly, your goals should be measurable. When we're talking about measurable fitness goals, you should be able to track your progress and know when you have achieved them. So when you measure your progress, not only do you get a sense of accomplishment, but it also allows you to make adjustments to your workout plan if required. So for instance, if I want to nail, let's say 10 push-ups, and I really want to get them going in the first month or within 2 months, or I want to be able to get my plank hold for at least a minute, right? So how do I track that? Week 1, where was I at when I begin my journey? Or if I'm already at an advanced level and I'm already able to sustain a 2-minute plank and I want to move to a 4-minute plank hold, how do I go about it? So your goals should be measurable, have very, very specific measurable goals. Now, somebody said over here, weight loss. In fact, a lot of people have said weight loss, fat loss, and build stamina. Again, how would you make it measurable? When you're talking about weight loss, again, it should be very, very specific and measurable. In that case, you would probably want to be more clear as to 5 kgs, 10 kgs, 15 kgs, what is your target goal? And that again depends on your body composition, where you need to be at for a healthy weight. And that's different for everyone, right? It also depends on your age, your lifestyle, and all of that. So measurable goal, I think whoever has mentioned fat loss, building stamina, it will definitely help if you could further specify as to how much and within what time frame. So that's another thing we're going to come to. Achievable. Your fitness goals have to be challenging, but please keep it realistic, okay? When we set unattainable goals, it can lead to frustration and demotivation. So when you're setting your fitness goals, what do you need to consider? Firstly, consider your current fitness level. Where are you at? How, what is your challenges? What are your strengths? Try and be very realistic about that. And secondly, time constraints. If you are looking at big goals, you may have to put in the big work, right? So if you're taking smaller steps, more sustainable steps, then you can work around the time constraints as well. So now if you're a busy working individual, you can still remove the time. How much time? That again, you have to decide for yourself, right? So any potential limitation is to be also considered before setting your goals, your health, your approval from your fitness trainer, your doctor, if required. Now, gradually progress towards more challenging goals. That's the way, it's a good way to get started. You begin at a certain point and then you keep moving forward and make it challenging with time. If you're going to just keep it really, really easy and be complacent, neither are you going to see your progress, nor are you going to stay motivated. So adding a little challenge here and then, various ways, can be a great way to sustain and keep going with your exercise and not feel like giving up. So how can you add challenges? Can anyone share how can you make your workout program a little more exciting or challenging? What could you do? Yes, please add in the chat box. What do you do to challenge your body or make it interesting? Increasing the targets weekly. Absolutely. I will start exercising from tomorrow itself. Okay, great, Kaiser. Fantastic. It's good to see you already motivated and it's making an impact. Yoga. Okay, so yoga. Now, how do you make your yoga more challenging? You add maybe some asanas over time. You go from intermediary to advanced. Have competition with another friend. Dilip. Yes, that's the spirit. Teamwork. I will start morning walk every day. Rashmi saying this. Rashmi, way to go. Very proud of you. So here we have Shri Harsha. She uses a walk tracking app in the mobile. Okay, that's how you track it. Sunil does regular yoga and meditation as well. Virana is saying she puts in extra workouts. I believe that would be some extra reps and maybe overload with weights. All right, so lots and lots of feedback. Thank you guys. A lot of participation. Great going. Keep it up. Keep coming with your answers and queries and your feedback. It really is making it very interesting. So we spoke about specific goals. We spoke about keeping it measurable and achievable, right? So when we're talking about achievable, we spoke about the fact that make it challenging, but keep it realistic. Don't set goals which you cannot attain, or it's too unrealistic, it's too less a time. Especially, you hear about these crash diets and 30-day weight loss programs. Well, even if you achieve them, then generally speaking, it's so hard to sustain those kind of extreme diets or extreme workouts. So be realistic. Even if you have to take it step by step, build sustainable habits that will last you a lifetime so that you are motivated through and through. Next, I'm going to talk about the R, realistic. So similar to achievability, your fitness goals has to be realistic. When I'm talking about realistic, what I mean by is please take into account your lifestyle commitments and overall health. For instance, if you have a busy schedule, if you're going to aim for a 2-hour weekly workout every day, do you think it's going to be feasible? Maybe not. So set goals that you can realistically work towards and incorporate into your life. How can you do that? You can maybe start off with an hourly fitness program, 3 days a week. That should be more realistic if you're really busy. If you can squeeze in 5 days a week, that's great too, but give enough rest and recovery time to your body. The next thing is being time bound. When you're setting a specific time frame for achieving your fitness goals, please create a sense of deadline that will help you create a sense of urgency and stay on track. Also enables you to break down your goals into smaller, manageable milestones. So somebody, I think Kenneth said earlier that he would like to run a marathon, if I'm not wrong. I think it was Kenneth. And yes, so Kenneth, marathon, that's a great goal to set. Now, again, keep it time bound. Which one? How soon? Where have you enrolled? Are you on it? Is it, how much time do you have to work around the whole thing? So that's keeping it time bound. Somebody said weight loss. Weight loss again. Yes, Kenneth, I got a thumbs up. So it was Kenneth saying the marathon is on his mind, and I don't see any reason why you cannot totally do it and excel at it. So when you're talking about keeping it time bound, keep it time bound. Not like, okay, next summer after, post when I decide to get married, 3 months before that, when I decide to have a kid, or once I get over my work pressure, or once I get the new job, or once my boss lets me go home a little early, all those things, because that's never going to happen. And we think we have time, but often it's too late before we realize how much time has been lost in the process. So please keep it time bound, and maybe quarterly goals are a good idea, or monthly goals. So I would say give it a quarter. Other than our SMART workout, there are 4 elements that I want you to keep in mind while choosing your workout program. And these 4 elements should come in together for you to be able to feel a difference in your health. The first element, I call it the 4S: strength, stamina, stability, and stretching. So strength, when I'm talking about incorporating strength training exercises into your workout routine, I strongly recommend that everybody, all age groups, unless there are restrictions, you must include strength training as part of your fitness routine. When we talk about strength training, the main benefits are building muscle mass. We're talking about strength training helping with your metabolic rate, improves your overall body strength, regulates your sleep, better for your hormonal balances. In general, unlimited benefits of strength training. Great for your bone and muscle density, and highly recommended nowadays, I think, by all doctors as well. I have so many people who are joining my program, and some of them are as old as in their 60s. And when I ask them what has motivated you to start, and they've never worked out before, done strength training before, and they say it has been recommended by doctors now, because as we age and we lose bone muscle density, we are challenged with osteoporosis, we are challenged with joint ache. One thing that really helps and protects you from falls and fractures is strength training. Ahmed Hussain wants to say something. He's raised his hand. All right, so until Ekta passes his query on to me, I will continue on to this point. So yes, we were talking about strength exercises. Now, when you're talking about strength exercises, what all is involved in building strength in your bones and muscles? If you have absolutely nothing, no equipment, you can still do your strength exercises. And that can be through body weight exercises. When we're talking about body weight, without any equipment, dumbbell, kettlebell, if you're saying, but I don't have access to equipments, I don't have access to a gym, you can still do your strength training. What kind of workouts can you throw in? If you're looking at strength training just at home, you can do your squats, you can do your lunges, you can do your push-ups, you can do your pull-ups. There's just so much you can do with body weights, and you'll be surprised. You could do your functional circuits and jumping jacks, high knees, and ab circuits. There's just so much you can still do with body weight and get stronger. Just giving yourself 45 minutes to an hour thrice a week, that itself is a great way to get started. And if you're already at it, just keep building on it. If you're 10 push-ups, work towards 20 pull-ups. If you're doing assisted pull-ups, work towards going all with your body weight, and things like that. You can also do your exercises with free weights. There are tons of equipments which can make your workout program so exciting and really build some good toning on your body, great strength in your muscles and bones. And the most common ones are your dumbbells. Even if you get yourself a tiny, small, lightweight pair of dumbbells to start off, if you're a beginner, you can do so many unlimited number of exercises just with a basic pair of dumbbells that will work your upper body, your chest, shoulders, triceps, your back, your biceps. You can work your entire lower body, your quads, hips, ankles, knees. So every muscle group in the body can be targeted with just one basic pair of dumbbells. And as you progress, you can increase the weight of the dumbbells. You begin, let's say, with a 3 kg pair, you build it up to 5, 7.5, 10, depending on which muscle group you're working and how you're able to cope with your form, technique, and progressive overload. The other way to go about with your workouts with equipments is you could maybe include a pair of kettlebell. That's a great equipment as well. In case you haven't seen a kettlebell, I'll show it to you. This is what it looks like. It's a really fun equipment. I'm going to roll out a video in a bit where I will show you all the equipments that you can use. And for people who are already at it, they would be more than familiar and probably will be a little boost today. So kettlebell, you also have your barbell movements, which are compound movements essentially, and great for building a lot of strength in the body. You could also use resistance bands for your workouts. Those are your tube resistance tubes that are also highly recommended by physios and very, very safe for everyone. So that's another great equipment. And if you have access to the gym, you could use machines for building strength. Okay, so strength training, how many of you all already into strength training? Give me a thumbs up, please. Strength training, whether you're working out at home, at the park, calisthenics, any kind of workout, or whether you're working out at the gym. Amrita, Ahmed, Kaiser does pull-ups in the morning. Ahmed is saying morning walk is important. Yes, Ahmed, I totally agree. And I'm going to touch that point next. I do every day. Yes, very nice, Venu. I'm very happy to hear that you're taking the time out to give yourself some self-love. Have 5 kg dumbbells. Somebody right here. Yes. And Virana also says she does strength training. So good to know that. And what I'm happy is I do power yoga and dumbbells 5 kg. Rupa, excellent, Rupa. Keep it up. And you know what really makes me happy is I work out 5 days a week, cardio and strength training. Couple, great, excellent couple. Way to go. Keep it up. All right. So what I say to everyone, and I especially think that we have this little bit of a, cultural mindset that strength training is for men. If girls do it, they get really muscular and all of that. And I want to tell you that if you have bones and muscles in your body, which we all have, men and women, you have to maintain and work on it. It doesn't matter. And I'm happy to see more and more girls and women take on strength training and just go out there and lift those weights and pump it up and work on their bone muscle health. So fantastic. Women, everyone, men, women, all age group, everybody, I encourage you to keep in mind that strength training is extremely important in the long run for your bone and joint health. Next, I'm going to talk about stamina. Somebody said they wanted to increase their stamina. So this aspect focuses on your cardiovascular endurance. When we're talking about stamina, we're talking about how you can go about with your day-to-day routine without getting fatigued, without going out of breath, and with more strength and endurance. So for stamina, the things that you could exercises you could do, I would say, is running, cycling, swimming, aerobic. All these will help you with your stamina and cardiovascular health. All these are great. Functional fitness, burpees, jump jacks, all of that over a period of time does build heart endurance and stamina. So that is also one key element when you're choosing your workout program, along with strength training exercises. Please include 10 to 15 minutes of some stamina building exercises as well. Because often I hear people saying, I'm strong, I have, I have bulked up and I'm looking good, but my stamina is still very low. I cannot manage 10 burpees. I cannot do 20 minutes of, cardio circuits. So that just indicates that you need to also work on your endurance and your stamina over and above your strength. So not just one, but a good balance of both is equally important. And similarly, if you may have a lot of stamina, but not so much of strength. So both are just as equally important. Next, I'm going to talk about is how important is your stretching. Right, so flexibility is also another very, very important component of fitness that is often overlooked. When we are talking about fitness, I would say, yes, you have to be strong. Yes, you have to be energetic. That's a great indicator that you're fit. But at the same time, you shouldn't be too stiff in your body. And I hear a lot of people say that today I'm feeling a little stiff, more stiff than usual. What should I do? Basically, if you're feeling stiff, and typically with long work hours in our workplace, sitting at one place, it's important that to let go of that stiffness, overcome that, and feel more fit, energetic, and flexible. You have to do your stretching movements. When you're talking about stretching movements, we have your dynamic stretching, you have your static stretching movements, you have your yoga stretches. A lot of people here also said they're already into yoga. So yoga is great for flexibility. In addition to that, incorporate a few movements that give you good range of motion, and that in turn will reduce the risk of aches, stiffness, and injury. So coming on the topic of exercise, 5 things: SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound, combined with 4 components: strength, stamina, stability, and stretching. When you're talking about stability, I would say it is important to include a few balance circuits. Anything that gets you to maintain your balance. So unilateral movements where you are balancing your body weight on one side and then you switch to the other and you get a good understanding of the disparity between the two, your right side and your left side. Typically, if you're a right-handed person, you will notice your right side is used more than usual. So your right side is a wee bit stronger, and but you can always catch up. The left side can always catch up. You just engage into a few unilateral movements, do some balance workouts. You could do body weight balance movements, one leg hold and knee hold, and so many other things. Or you could also use bozo ball and other equipments, maybe a stepper stool, and balance your body weight at one time. So that's about exercise. All right, so now I'm going to get you to do a little bit of stretching right here. But before that, I want to play a small video where you will be able to see all the elements that I just mentioned about strength, stamina, endurance, and stability, and all the kinds of equipments. It will just give you a basic idea of how there's so much you can do in your exercise program. And I think people who exercise regularly will agree with me that exercise can never be boring, contrary to what some people think. Exercise is so much fun because there's just so many options that you have available in terms of the kind of equipments you can use, the kind of circuits you can do, the kind of movements you can engage. So coming to the video, I'm just going to play it, after which I want you all to step out of your desk for a bit, brief bit and stretch with me. So first I'm going to play the video. Are you able to see? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So these are stretching movements, and these are typically recommended for everyone. It's a total body stretch. Could be these like a 2-minute quick standing stretching circuit at your workplace as well. Some wrist stretches right here. We feel stiffness in our wrist with a lot of work on the laptop. So a good one for that. Stiffness in your lower back, public movements, hip rotations right there. You could do about 10 counts of each, clockwise, anti-clockwise. That's your knee hold balance for your knee health. A quad stretch right there. Yeah, so even sometimes you feel stiffness in your knees with long hours at your desk. Just get up, roll it around, ankle rotations. So I have sped this up a little bit. Of course, you can go. I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to pause here and get you to do those stretches with me. So can I have maybe a couple of volunteers who would be happy to share their screen and stretch out with me from their, like, just standing stretches? I'm going to, so Ekta, can you pick out a few people, just volunteer in the chat box who would like to do some standing stretches with me right here? I mean, I would encourage everyone to do it, but a few volunteers would be happy to share their screen and we can get this going. Come on, all the champions right there. All the marathon runners and the yoga experts. All right, so I'm going to stand right here and please join me, a couple of them. We are going to just do a quick standing stretching circuit. Ekta is going to, I think, move you all into the main zone, and I'll wait until everyone is ready. Somebody's having lunch at the moment. Okay, Kenneth, you're excused. So I'll wait a minute longer and then we will get started. So whoever. All right, so get off your desk for just a brief bit and get started with me. We're going to do a total body stretch. I want you to put your hands on your hips and bring your neck up and down. So bring your neck down onto your chin and up for 10 counts. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ekta, you can join us. 9. And one more. All right. So this one you can do while seated also. The next one, look left, look right. 10 counts once again. 2, 3, 4. Slow and controlled movements. 5, 6, 8, 9, and one more. All right, we're going to do some neck rotations. 5 clockwise, 5 anti-clock. Okay. Three. Great, going Ekta. 4. And reverse. And one more. All right. Next, we're going to move to shoulder rotation. Stretch your arms. And give me big circles right there. Six, seven, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your tricep. Front cross and cross over. Change cross, cross over. Stretch on top. Change. All right, next you can do your wrist stretch. So stretch your wrist, palm up, palm down, palm up, palm down. Okay, next one again, for this one, you need to stand up. Twist. And hip circles. Reverse. Okay, give me a knee hold. Balance. Change. Quad stretch. Hold your ankle. Get your balance. Change. And knee rotations. I'm going to go through these a little quick, but you have to give it 10 seconds each, anti-clock. And finally, the one you saw, ankle rotations. All right. Okay, so I want to understand how many of you all actually engage in mobility movements. Do you all do it before you exercise? Do you all do some stretching and mobility before your workouts? This one is a leg press. It's a machine workout. As you can see, it's pretty loaded here. And the idea is not to necessarily always go heavy. I have been working on this and I wanted to intentionally build my strength and challenge myself. So I'm about 42 kilos in weight and pretty petite. And the machine where the leg press is about, I think, a good 80 kilos, 800. That's your body weight workout. As you can see, you can, without equipment or a gym also, just go to the outdoor park and get it rolling. That's a balance workout. It's a Bosu ball that I was mentioning earlier. And here you can see me taking up a challenge where I managed about 400 squats on the Bosu ball. That's our fantastic trainer at the gym. And yes, if you would like to work outdoors, then you can head to the park and do some outdoor workouts as well. That's again your body weight workout, upper body movement. These are your machine workouts. This one is for the back, works on the upper back. If you have access to a gym, you can use the machines as well. Some back routines here.
Nawazish, you are on mute. You went on mute. We can't hear you.
Yes, Ekta, give me a quick second. All right, so this is another one. Again, as you can see, a workout for the back. Pull-ups, as I was mentioning earlier, that if you cannot get body weight pull-ups, then you can start off with regular pull-ups, assisted pull-ups, and then gradually build your way into your body weight pull-ups. So now if you're wondering how quickly you can reach whatever level you want to reach at. It all depends on how much work you're ready to put in, how consistent are you with your workouts, and getting your form right and technique right, and a lot of other elements will help you to build progress. But I think the most important thing is to stay consistent. So if you're going to be working out, a particular month and then on a big break and back again, and then on a break and back again, it gets challenging for the body to continually build strength. So like they say, no gain without pain. And in our case, no loss also without pain. We're talking about fat loss. Whatever it is, you have to put in the work and be consistent and disciplined and dedicated, and give it adequate amount of time for you to be able to see results. So please be patient with your body. Don't rush through quick fixes, quick results, as we spoke about earlier. And that's very, very important that you stick by your set routine and make your workout hour an uncompromising hour. Often what happens is we prioritize everything, our work, our family, kids. And one thing we put on the back burner or bring it down the priority list is our me time, our self-love time. And I consider exercise as a time for self-love, because our body does so much for us. And the only way we can pay gratitude to it is by giving it movement and helping it gain strength. So just please don't compromise on your workout hour. Keep it as a non-compromising time and make it a habit. Exercise should be a habit, like your brushing, your baths, your eating habits, all of that. The exercise should be something that you are at without compromising, except in a rare instance where you have, your body is genuinely very, very tired, or if you are running fever or something. Other than that, there's always something you can do to exercise. I'm just going to share the screen again. Give me a second, Ekta. Okay, I'm going to skip this right here and just move to the next slide. So as you can see in the videos, there's just a lot of different ways in which you can go ahead and exercise. Now I'm going to talk about certain things you can do at your workplace, certain exercises, as we already saw. Sorry, what are we doing here? As we already saw, that there's just so much stretching movements you can get done with at your workplace, seated, standing. In addition to that, you could even do certain things related to stress management and anxiety at workplace, certain breathing movements that will help you get your center and balance through the day. So if you're feeling anxious and are wondering how you can stay calm and collected at your workplace, a very, very good way to do it is get up, get moving, get off your desk, move a little bit, get some fresh air. And besides that, maybe you could do, or while seated on your desk, you could do some breath work. So I want you all to sit comfortably in your chair with your eyes closed and take a deep breath in through your nose, fill up your lungs, and hold the breath for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat this deep breathing exercise for a minute or two until you feel calm and stress-free. Okay, so close your eyes. Exhale through your mouth. Take a deep breath in. Connect with your breath. Deep breath in. And a big breath out. There's also the alternate nostril breathing that you could do with your thumb and your ring finger. You inhale, hold your breath, exhale, breathe in, hold your breath, exhale. All right, so get a few deep breaths in, and you should be on your way to feeling better. Other than that, I think stress management is something that is definitely in your control to some extent, and that's one of the topics we're going to speak about in a bit. Shadab, I'll come back to your query. He has been struggling with backache and wants some suggestions how to go about it. So Shadab, firstly, if it's acute, then please get it checked with an orthopedic or your doctor as to just assessing if there's something beyond just a regular strain or something like that. Or if you need maybe some additional multivitamins to help you with that. I would suggest that I think for anything that's weak or you're struggling with, my first recommendation is that if you have your a doctor's go ahead, then please consider strength training. Because when something is weak, that's the reason it's aching or it's not fully functional. So when you are struggling with backache or any kind of joint pain or anything in your body is trying to tell you that it is not functioning to its optimum. Please find out what is the reason. Is it a lack of certain nutritional element? Is it lack of strength? Is it maybe improper posture? For all you know, it could be something very simple. What's your posture through the day? Or are you getting enough movement through the day? So try and analyze all of that and start a strength training program if you're allowed to. There are a lot of great workouts that you can implement and strengthen your back. I personally struggled with my lower back, and I can tell you this, that with strength training, I've seen some wonderful difference in my strength and stamina in general. So whether it's your back, your knee, your shoulders, any area of your body you think is challenging and is hurting, it's time to take action. Anything that's weak, strengthen it. Simple as that. Don't park it on the side and say, you know what, this is not working for me. It's weak, so I'm going to not really do anything about it. Posture is a big contributor. Yes, that's right, Kenneth. Venkata is saying, please suggest minimum time for strength-related exercises in a day. Okay, so I'm going to take all your queries, guys, at the end. And I know you'll have some wonderful questions. And I'm very, very happy and appreciative that you're participating right here. I'm going to just finish the presentation and take all your queries. Ekta, is that okay? Can I just finish rolling it out? And then maybe we can take all their queries. So just, yes, I'll come back to your query, the last one, where somebody's asked me about how much time in a day. Maybe I'll just address that and move on to the next one. So how much time in a day? I would say it again depends. If you can remove 45 minutes to an hour daily, excellent. But again, give yourself enough rest between your workout, and depending on what muscle you're working, you might want to rest it out for about 48 hours to 72 hours before you hit that same muscle group again. Otherwise, in general, you could go for a 30 to 45 minute walk daily. You could do strength training thrice a week, an hour. I do it up to 5 and sometimes 6 times a week, but I've built that level of strength over time for me be able to be able to sustain. The idea is you can push your body, but to do it in a way where you're doing it safely, you're challenging it just about right, but not to a point where you could injure yourself. So that's one important thing. I hope I've answered your question. Another element that I'm going to talk about today is nutrition. The second thing that we're going to talk about is nutrition. So I'm going to move on to the next slide right here and get started. Again, nutrition is one big thing that I hear about a lot when we talk about health. Gaining weight is one thing attached to weight gain, and a lot of people said they want to lose weight. I would say yes, exercise will help you to a certain extent, but it is not your magic solution for unclean eating. Exercise is not the solution for consuming your excuse to consume excess calories, because at the end of the day, give me one quick second. So at the end of the day, what's important is that we eat clean and we eat healthy. And when I'm talking about eating clean and eating healthy, you don't always have to make it very, very complicated. You don't have to think too much about technicalities and micromanagement and all that. You can just keep it basic. But when you talk about eating clean, you already know what food is good for health. We all know junk food, fast food, vending machine options, tempting treats, sugar-loaded foods. They're in general unhealthy. So please avoid that. Maybe once in a while, it's okay. But binging on those things is never going to do you much good. So, reach out for nutritious food. And even when you are at workplace, if you can opt for healthier foods at the workplace, then pick those and avoid oily and sugary foods in your main meals and even otherwise. And if you are just not happy with the food at your workplace, it happens sometimes you might find it a little too spicy, oily, or calorie loaded for your taste, then you could always, I think, maybe check if there could be some modifications made to that aspect. And if not, then rather than just sitting on it, I would say carry your healthy lunch from home, some fruits, some nuts, whatever you can pack over the weekend, and just some little prep time might be required, but at least it'll keep you ahead of the game. Right, so maybe a few people can update me about how many people actually eat at the workplace, and do you even carry lunch from home, or do you eat at the workplace, and is it something that you want to work around? Is your nutrition something that you think about often? All right, so y'all can keep me posted about what your thoughts are. Yes, another thing is please stay hydrated. We often forget to drink water while we are focused on our tasks at the office. So staying hydrated is crucial for your overall well-being and productivity. Keep a water bottle at your desk and make a conscious effort to sip water throughout the day. You can also infuse your water with some fresh fruits or herbs to add a burst of flavor. And please choose balanced meals that include a variety of nutrients, incorporate some lean protein, whole grains, plenty of fruits and vegetables in your meals. Avoid excess processed foods, sugary drinks, as I already mentioned, high-fat meals. These are typically the reason why you may feel like an energy crash or sluggishness at work. So even at your workplace, if you can stick to clean, healthy eating, it will help you stay energetic throughout the day. So even if you all are doing some potluck at work, I would say please snack smartly and include more nutritious options instead of your fatty, oily snacks in your potluck or otherwise office events. Try and opt for healthier options that is nutrition loaded. Mindful eating, please eat mindfully. It's as simple as that. Overeating and unhealthy relationship with food is typically a reason why many people complain of weight gain. So eat mindfully. Whatever amount of calories you're consuming, please understand if you're not burning as much, if you're not as active, if you're not exercising and you're not moving enough, and you're consuming a lot of calories, they're going to just be stored as fat in your body because your body doesn't know what else to do with it. You're not burning it. It's not converting into muscle mass. It's not converting into helping you with your bone density. So it's just going to be stored in your fat layers. And the only way to get it out is move adequately and keep your calorie consumption in check. So just use a little prudence. If you want to consult a dietitian or go into a very, very specific plan, that's fine too. But other than that, it's not rocket science. Your scales will tell you immediately, if you're gaining, losing. Again, don't go completely by the scales, I would say. Stick to how you feel in your health. That's most important. Don't be obsessed with the scales. That can lead to demotivation. Often your weight could be balanced out. If you're losing fat, but simultaneously gaining muscles or bone density, you'll probably not notice a big jump in the scale. So the scale is not everything. How you feel inside within your body, your mind space, your soul space is very important. All right, so I hope that that helps. Now, talking about stress management, that's one aspect I want to talk about. But before that, I'm going to talk about, second, I think I'm looking for ergonomics. All right, so next topic is going to be ergonomics. When we're talking about ergonomics, I'm talking about, in general, your posture at work, how you're seated, your alignment in terms of your desk height and all of that. So that's important because you want to improve your productivity, you want to have less stiffness, less joint aches. And for that, firstly, if we talk about how to optimize our workspace environment and why it's important, it is important to reduce stress in our bodies and prevent any kind of musculoskeletal disorders in the long run. So what can you do, especially when you're seated? Okay, let's start with what you can do with the chair. You adjust the chair height in a way that your feet at all times is rested flat on the floor. So please look down. Is your feet resting flat on the floor right now? And are your knees at a 90-degree angle? Okay, so if you think that your knees are falling down way too much, you might want to put a footrest below. So knees has to be at a 90-degree. You ensure that your lower back is also well supported by the chair's lumbar support or a small cushion. And please avoid crossing your legs while sitting. Yeah, because it can disrupt the blood flow. So feet flat on the ground, knees at a 90-degree, and no crossing of legs. What about your monitor positioning? Position your computer monitor directly in front of your eye level. And the top of your screen should be at or just below your eye level. All right, that will help you with neck strain, so you won't really feel discomfort in your neck. And occasionally, like we spoke about, do some neck rotations, shoulder rotations, get off your chair, move around, come back, and get back to your work. When you're talking about how much distance should you keep your eyes from the monitor, I would say about an arm's length, right? An arm's length should be enough to reduce eye strain. So then that helps with the eye strain. Arrange your keyboard and mouse in a way where when you're placing your arms, they're resting comfortably at the side and forming a 90-degree angle at the elbow. All right. If you feel that your wrist is still hurting, then add some wrist rotations, or consider using a wrist rest for supporting your wrist and comforting your wrist. Besides that, please try and keep all items that you frequently use at arm's reach so that you're not excessively stretching or straining, and keep your desk clutter-free to create a more organized and efficient workspace. So when we're talking about posture, obviously your back straight, shoulders retracted, proud chest, and feet on the ground, flat on the ground, or maybe a footrest if required. You could also use a headset or speaker phone. If you're spending a lot of time on the phone, I would recommend instead of avoiding holding the phone between your ear and shoulders, that could strain your neck, just use a headset instead. And take regular breaks. Stand up, stretch once in a while to promote blood circulation and reduce stiffness. Also, adjust your lighting. Let your workspace be well lit so that you're not straining your eyes. And you could even use adjustable blinds or curtains to control the natural light. You could consider a sit-stand desk. That's a great way to be able to switch between seated and standing postures throughout the day. And please stay mindful of your posture right now also. Are you aware? Are you slouching? Is your back rounded? Are you sitting upright? Is your shoulder retracted? right? But now ergonomics again is not a one-size-fits-all approach. So everybody's body is different. It's essential that you customize your workplace to suit your unique needs and preferences. Please take time to optimize your work environment and practice proper ergonomics so that you have lesser backaches, neck strains, and all of that. Somebody who had mentioned earlier about backache, I would say maybe you would want to also look into, while you're at your workstation, how are you seated? What is your computer positioned like? What is your, so all of that elements, hopefully these tips will help you get some relief in that aspect. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, the final topic that we're going to talk about here is stress management. Okay, so stress, as we all know, can have a direct impact on our health and well-being. Now, what can you do? Stress is an inevitable part of our life, but you can manage stress with some easy techniques. And I would say, firstly, identify your stress triggers. When you are under stress, short-term stress, your body can still handle. But if you're consistently putting your body through long-term stress, it is going to take toll on your mental health. And from there on, with negative thinking and frustration, you are going to somewhere manifest that into physical illnesses. So watch out for your thoughts, how you start your day, how you, what is the affirmations you're giving to yourself, what are the self-talk that you're doing in relation to what's happening around you. So I'll tell you, you cannot really control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. So whenever you're under stress, please try to identify what is triggering you. Take time to reflect on why you're feeling overwhelmed. Recognize these triggers and try to find ways to effectively address them. Another way to deal with stress management, often we are stressed because we feel there's so much to do and such little time to complete it all. So in that scenario, I would say, try and find your priorities, practice time management. It plays a crucial role in stress management. Set realistic goals, prioritize your tasks, break down large projects into small manageable steps, and allocate your time accordingly. Plan your day effectively, and you will definitely feel less overwhelmed and will be able to increase your productivity. The next thing you can do is take regular breaks wherever possible. Very easy to get caught up in work and forget to take breaks, but some amount of break, stretching, walking, moving around, sipping your water is essential for stress management. Once you step away from your desk, stretch, take a short walk. Maybe after your meals, you could just take a 2-minute walk, soak in some sunshine, if your office has a good space to walk around, and give your mind a little bit of rest to improve your focus and concentration when you return to your tasks. Again, even when you're having your meals, try and just take that 10 minutes to yourself, enjoy and savor your meals. So put the phone aside for those 10 minutes, recharge, and then you can get back to your work and check all your emails and everything. So while you are eating, you are stressed and you're checking this and you're replying to that, and all that stress and anxiety is still within you. So you're not even able to enjoy a proper meal. And then you're wondering why you're gaining weight, because you're not mindful of how you're eating, what you're eating, how much you're eating, right? So put the phone away for a bit, or whatever the work you're doing, and enjoy your meals in peace. Also, if you can learn to say no, I'm saying prudently, of course, and politely, when you're overwhelmed with additional work or responsibilities, and if it is not in your scope of work, try and be honest about it, because too much stress can lead to burnout. And it's important that you set your boundaries and be open about your workload. Communication is the key. People are not mind readers. So if you're triggered or if you're upset about somebody doing something around you, it's important that you let them know and, let them take charge of that as well. Another thing is you can practice deep breathing. We already spoke about some deep breathing exercises. So that's something you can do. Take a deep breath in and exhale, right? So inhale positivity, exhale any kind of toxicity. Can anyone maybe in the chat box share what is your way of dealing with stress at workplace? What are the things you do other than maybe what we have covered? Anything how do you stay positive? What are the pointers? What kind of tips you can give?
So meanwhile, we have some replies on the chat box. So I would like to launch a poll wherein you can share your feedback regarding to this session. How was the session about? And this will help us to curate the furthermore sessions. So we have reached to the end of the insights of this webinar on elevating our well-being at work with Nawazish Kapil. So we extend our sincere gratitude to Nawazish for sharing her expertise and empowering us with valuable strategies to enhance our well-being at work.
Thank you so much, Ekta. I appreciate the invite and I appreciate everyone's participation. Ekta mentioned, I think we had nearly about 300 to 500 people attending today's seminar, and I can see a lot of active participation. So thank you so much for that. And I hope you have a great weekend ahead, all of y'all. It's an extended weekend. And I hope you're able to implement and get started with your workout goals, exercise.
So we have, Nawazish. So we have one more question under the Q&A section.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we have a question on like how to lose weight and fat if nothing is working out.
Okay, so firstly, you have to understand what is the reason you have gained so much weight. Sometimes it could be an underlying health issue, if your health reports are all fine, normal, unless you have maybe thyroid, and certain types of thyroids do lead to weight gain, and sometimes it's the body's hormones not functioning. So if you have already ruled out all those possibilities and it's not related to any of those things, then I would say that increase your activity level and decrease your calorie intake. It's as simple as that. More calories burnt, less calories consumed, and the effect is directly losing your fat. And I would say focus on fat loss. Yeah, so when you're talking about fat loss, more than weight loss, because when you're losing weight, you're probably even losing some amount of muscle mass and bone density. You don't want that. You want to maintain your muscle mass and bone density. You want to focus on getting the fat out of your body, and that can be done with exercise and nutrition. Managing also proper sleep, keeping your stress in check. All those things also matter a lot. So watch out. Are you taking excess stress? That's also one reason why we have the chemicals released in our body that makes us hungry all the time. Ekta, anything else? I hope I answered that. And yes, Ekta, do we have more queries?
No, we don't have any further questions. If you have any kind of questions to ask, still you can write it in a chat box, and we will cater one by one. And if you want to speak to Nawazish personally, you can just raise your hand. I'll move to the panelist, and you can ask any of the questions that you want.
Okay, and thank you so much, all you guys. I appreciate it as well. So I'm going to thank each one of you for expressing your gratitude right here. A lot of thank you messages in the chat box. I'm really touched. Thank you so much, every single one of you.